Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another live performance here in historic Old Roseville. We have a guest artist today, by the name of George Bankston. George is going to do something a bit unusual for us. He's going to play real, honest-to-God country western music, something you rarely see today. Something it's a treasure in our history, but for some reason we've passed over to the good country western music. That's going to change today. George Bankston is going to play some music for us. George?
I'll never forget that sad day, darling, that you went away. You told me that our love was true, and then you lived alone and blue. Yes, I received your note today, saying you'd come back and stay. Don't come back now, for it is too late. My love for you is turned to hate. Don't come back now on your knees, saying you'd come back and stay. You came in my broken heart. Our love, it died while we were apart. Yes, I received your note today, saying you'd come back and stay. Don't come back now, for it is too late. My love for you has turned to hate. Today I passed you on the street, and my heart felt at your feet. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Somebody else stood by your side, he seemed so satisfied. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. A picture from the past came slowly stealing as I brushed your arms and I sit so close to you. And heaven only knows how much I miss you, and I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. It hurts to know another's lips will kiss you and hold you the way I used to do. Heaven only knows how much I miss you, and I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Like a bird that's lost its mate in flight, I'm alone and oh so blue tonight. Like a piece of river on the sea, may you never be alone like me. I gave up my friends, I left my home, when you promised to be mine alone. Oh, you've gone, our love could never be. May you never be alone like me. I believe the lies you told of me, when you whispered, dear, I worship thee. But you gone, our love could never be. May you never be alone like me. In the Bible, God's own words to say, forever on someday you pay. I pray the Lord to set me free, and may you never be alone like me.
Okay. Okay, George, that brings back memories.
Yes, it sure does. Going back to Hank Williams' days, I guess he changed the music when he went to Nashville. And while he was in Alabama, he played what was there. And I believe he was known as Luke the Drifter. And
I believe didn't he also put out some records as Luke the Drifter?
yes, he put out Be Careful of a Stone You Throw, some, I have 2 or 3 of our albums. It's as Luke the Drifter.
Mm-hmm.
And a fellow told me that he lived back there, and I guess he was in the church, and his mother, I believe, played the organ. And he wrote that famous song of a gospel, I Saw the Light. Well, I think he was about 15 years old, and he sent it to Roy Acuff. And he done it on the Grand Ole Opry. And then when he came in and he recorded that, and that was a very famous song, and he also put out, I think About Mama Last Night was a big hit for him. It's taken back. There won't never be another Hank Williams. There'll never be another Elvis. There'll never be a Jimmy Reeves. And we have to take other people nowadays.
But we still, well, what I can see though, for the most part, a lot of our Western music that we're familiar with has been dropped today, and you have a new form of Western music. And many, many times it's crossover music. It's really popular music with a Western flavor. And I'm back from the same age that you are, and I was accustomed originally to good old-fashioned country Western songs, and always look forward to it. Like maybe Red Foley, some of the work that did, Faron Young, Ferlin Husky, and back in through that period. And you don't hear those names unless you're on to perhaps public radio. Occasionally you will hear those artists, but you don't hear those songs anymore by these newer artists. I kind of tend to tip back towards the older artists that still perform these type songs. And I'm happy to be here with you today to be able to hear some of this early country Western. I appreciate that. I like that. What are you going to do for us now?
Would you like to hear something a little bit more kind of in a different sound than Hank's?
Well, let's hear some whatever you have prepared for us.
All right.
I'm easy to get along with.
It's a little bit different.
I'm old and I'm slow. Right?
Your world were so different from mine, don't you see? We just couldn't be close, or we tried. We both reached for heavens, but ours weren't the same. That's what happens when two worlds collide. Your world was made up of things sweet and good. My world could never fit in. I wish it could. Went to hard school and chaplains, and oh, how they cried. That's what happens when two worlds collide. Your world was made up of things sweet and good. My world could never fit in. I wish it could. Went to high school in chocolate, and oh, how he cried. And that's what happens when two worlds collide.
Okay.
That's a little bit of a different sound.
Yeah, just a wee bit, yeah.
It's, as through the years I saw music changed and they'll come out with different. We had, from time to time, some people like them, some people don't.
Yeah.
And used to come and they was buying, not the artist, they was buying a song. Sometimes the artist didn't sound like they figured they wanted to sound, but they liked the record. I've done it myself. And I bought several records that I didn't really like the way the artist done it, but I sure did like the song.
Excuse me.
I think that is what a lot of them in the older times. That's what happened.
Yes.
They done them right, I guess.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of times you'll still hear the songs performed maybe in somebody's house or in a small group, but for the most part they're all limited there again to access such as we are. And we have, of course, we have the opportunity here today to be able to resurrect some of those early songs. What are you going to perform for us now?
Well, I get a lot of requests. So I dreamed about Mama last night. That was one of Hank's hits.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of tear-jerking mother song, but I can hardly keep up with this. I've just been to heaven with someone so true. I dreamed about Mama last night. She read me the Bible like she used to do. I dreamed about Mama last night. She never closed her eyes when we children were away, and on party nights she used to sit up in red. She always left the light. Mama couldn't sleep until she kissed us all good night. Mama was afraid the world might harm the ones that she loved the best. Said once that you're grown to men and to women, perhaps I'll sleep the whole night through. I might be different then. We had a mother's care when we got back home. We'd always find her waiting there, but we were too young back then to understand how much Mama worried when we were away. We only knew she never slept, and she knew that we were safe. Sometimes we'd come in at 1, 2, or 3. Seemed to us that Mama could tell by the turning of the key. She called and we replied, but I guess we were too young back then to understand. Then the night we were called around her bed, said the children are all with you now, the county doctor said. And a gleam in her eyes, it told that she'd been waiting just to know that we were all right. Then she looked up with that old familiar smile and prayed to God to keep her children safe from harm and danger throughout the years. Mama, she just went to sleep. My dream is a treasure I'll always keep. I dreamed about Mama last night.
Okay. Right, I remember that from days gone by. Haven't heard that lately.
No, I get a lot of requests for it, but and people that love their mother loves that song. And who was it? Johnny Cash says, "What's happened to the Mama songs?" Says they used to be up the top, and says we don't hear them anymore.
Yeah.
And
been a lot of things like that we don't hear too much, but then again, we're at an accelerated pace now in our living. A lot of times we don't have time to think about too much. I imagine maybe that's where some of it comes in. This modern pace, George goes like, twice, 3 times as fast as we're accustomed to going. Kind of leaves us behind sometimes.
yeah, we can't stay up with our shadow.
Yeah, yeah. Which, are you going to do another one on Hank's songs for us?
You'd like to hear that? I Saw the Light?
Sure. Darn right.
That's one that he wrote, I guess,
Yeah,
about when he was about 15 years old, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's a dandy.
And it's still going today.
Yeah.
And lots of requests.
Yeah.
I don't care. I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin. I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night, and praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more in darkness, no more of night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrows in sight, and praise the Lord, I saw the light. I was a fool to wander astray. Straight is the gate and narrow's the way. Now I have traded the wrong for the right. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Just like the blind man I wandered wrong, worries and fears that I claim for my own. And like the blind man, God gave back his sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more in darkness, no more of night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrows in sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.
Okay. Yeah. That's a little bit all right. I bet you get a lot of requests for that.
Yeah,
from the old timers.
Well, young people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe it or not, I've had so many young people that says, I never heard those songs before, but I sure do like them.
Yeah, well, that's good. There is hope then.
I've had to do for young people more than I've had to do for the older people. It's a really strange
turnaround. Really?
Well, they say, well, it's not how old you are. It's whether you do what they like. It's why. Sometimes I go to the Reno and see the shows, and they'll have a young fellow, you'll have older people there, you'll have older people there, you'll have young people there. And
cross section.
And it's just, they want what they like, what they want to go, and they're don't look at their, a lot of them that used to perform are coming back. I was glad to see Ray Price back, because he had, for the good times, sold over 11 million copies.
God.
And that was more of a classical country. But, and he's been singing a lot of his old tradition country at Nugget, and he fills the place up.
Well, yeah, I think when people have an opportunity to hear some of this early country western, that we'll have a new resurgence. And I hope the new resurgence is not in the bar. I hope the new resurgence is in the theaters and in the Access television studios. I think that we have a lot to be able to offer an artist, and as we show here today, you here playing with us and playing your country western songs for us. And that's a good bit of enjoyment for us.
Yeah, I like to do, a variety of things, and mostly what people like. I don't like to, please everybody, but Hank Williams Jr. said that his father, if he had 3,000 people, he's pleased 3,000 people.
Yeah.
He says.
Well, that's the thing.
He says, I heard him on a talk show, and he said, well, some of us can't do that. He says, we might but said that was what he said. He said he'd pleased 3,000 people.
That's quite an accomplishment.
And I guess Elvis was another one that.
But you realize something, George? You're going to be able to do that too. While we're on the air, just think of all the people today that will be tuned in, and all those people will be pleased by this performance here. And it'll be a lot more than 3,000. It'll be 10, 15 times that.
Well, I hope so.
And you'll enlighten a lot of people. A lot of people are going to hear this music on our station probably for the first time.
What you see is what you get.
Ha good, good. What are you going to play for us now?
You want to hear another Hank song?
Sure.
This is one that also Charlie Pride came out with it in later years, but this was one of Hank's. He had a lot of blues songs, he had a lot of novelist songs, and this was the news is out all over town that you've been seen running around. I know that I should leave, but then I just can't go. When again this heart of mine could never see what everybody knew but me. Just trusting you was my great sin. What can I do when again I'm sorry for your rhythms now, and soon as it like mine will bow, he'll give his heart going back, and someday say you again. You have no heart and you have no shame. Gave true love, I got to blame. I guess that I should not complain. I love you still, but you went again.
Okay.
Remember that one, I guess?
Yeah.
Charlie, a lot of people, they still do some of these songs, they still do them. And through the years, there's been a few changes, but anybody goes out and says, anybody want to hear Hank Williams sing this song? Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
In the audience, and sometimes they only have maybe one or two prepared. And he said, I think I should have had Hank Williams songs.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
They say, anybody want to hear Hank Williams sing your songs? And man, they hook their hands and yell. And it was surprising. I saw when they had a tour in Japan, and they was interviewing some of the Japanese, and they says, who is your favorite country singer? He said, Hank Williams Sr. You know, and that was one back, and I guess Japan went a lot into the country.
Yeah. How long you been doing this country western singing, George?
Some 60 years.
Good Lord. Yeah, you do well.
It and gospel. I like to, I'm not limited to one of them. I do them both, because if you ever read on a record, it says the public expects you to do gospel. If you're a country singer, you better, if you don't know them, you better learn them.
You better learn a few, yeah, true.
Because that's Elvis got, I believe. I saw it on TV. What was it he got for his gospel records? He got an award from the Gospel Music Association, I believe it was, for his best gospel
album.
Yeah, and so Elvis done a lot of them.
Well, let me ask you this. What's your favorite song? Do you have a favorite amongst them, or do you have several songs that
Well,
you lean towards?
it's a lot of them. I like most all of them. And from novelty to love songs to name it.
What's when you're out playing and doing a gig, as we call it today, but doing a show? What's your most requested song?
Darling, why can't we get along?
Yeah, all right.
Well, that's another one.
Yeah.
That one just this is just where the woman's in control. I once was a bachelor, wish I was again. Now the way we carry on, you know that it's a sin. I used to be so happy, but the days are gone. So darling, why can't we get along? We seem to argue in the morning and again at night. Now we fuss about such little things, and you know that just ain't right. It makes me feel unhappy the way we carry on. So darling, why can't we get along? So darling, why can't we get along? Now arguments goes on and on. We argue when we're together, even on the phone. Where you been all day? So darling, why can't we get along? Worst is yet to come. Before I got married, my eyes was gray, but now they're black. Now you try to figure this one out. Now the rolling pins and the pots and pans are used in the wrong way. Every night when I walk in, she just might grab the rolling pin. Not the strangest woman ever found. The other day she used a chair and knocked me down. Just to be a little older, I think I'll get a small pup. Feeling like a dog. No. The only night we went out together was the night that the stove blew up. So darling, why can't we get along? Now arguments goes on and on. We argue when we're together, even on the phone. So darling, why can't we get along? I don't know, it beats me.
Yeah. Okay, that's timely. That's time even for today. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a little novelty. It's always having a good little humor.
Oh, well, it always helps. Yeah.
You used to have a lot of the humor songs, but have kind of got away from them.
Well, yeah, new subject matter in some of the newer songs. Yeah, true. What do you have that you can play for us now?
Here, some a little more of a modern to put in.
Well, yeah, sure, George. Like I said, I'm easy to get along with. Old and
As
slow.
long as you have your way, you're easy to get along with, huh?
Yeah, old and slow.
Make the world go away and get it off of my shoulders. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. Do you remember when you loved me? Before the world took me astray. If you do, then forgive me and make the world go away. Make the world go away and get it off of my shoulders. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away. I'm sorry if I hurt you. I'll make it up day by day. Just say you love me like you used to and make the world make the world go away and get it off of my shoulders. Say the things you used to say and make the world go away, and make the world go away.
Yeah, I remember that.
Through the year, that's giving you a few that have
Yeah.
changed. Some people like some that we've done here. Some people like some of the other. Just throw in a little variety.
Yeah, it's a little bit of variety there.
You
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
some people seem like all good songs with the sad ones. And you hardly get as a song that was recorded for me that I wrote, and it was, well, there was never a story quite like it, and then I had one. It was a happy song, and people said, "Oh, I like the other one because somebody's slipping around, you know."
Yeah.
And this other one, they found somebody that they want. I guess it's just so little is one that I wrote. It's never been recorded. I just copyright, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Are you going to play that for us tonight?
Oh yeah, my wife would probably pull my leg if I didn't.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well.
And it's kind of
Timely.
It's kind of in the modern type, little bit. It's
Leaning on.
still country though.
Yeah, it's leaning a little to this side then.
It's, you know, yeah,
Okay.
but it's not.
Not into the 1995s yet.
No, not yet.
Okay. Well.
Each day I hear your sweet voice. You speak so tenderly, and the sweet words you speak to me. You are my angel, my every dream come true. I found true love when I found you. Each night I feel your warm body. I lay so close to you. You're the best love I ever knew. And one thing is for certain, I'll know nobody knew. I found true love when I found you. I found true love. You were so hard to find. Now I've got you all the time. You've always thrilled me. No one else could ever do. And I found true love when I found you. Yes, I found true love when I found you.
Okay. All right. You wrote that for your lady.
How do you label that?
Well, I label that as a good song.
I mean,
That's a. Let's see. That would be about probably about 1984. That would have been some of the pros there that would have been on the top of the charts. Possibly even today with this new resurgence of the earlier country music, still get a chance to be on maybe 96 chart.
Yeah.
Are you going to record it?
I don't have I got it on my home, so.
Yeah. Well, now the public's going to hear it due to the fact that you just performed it.
Well,
So there's always that chance now.
yeah, anybody wants
You
to
know.
record it, it has a contract.
Yeah.
They're willing to it. I have the copyright
Okay.
and what have you.
Well, we've got a number of artists out in this area that probably would like to have a look at it, see if they'd like to record it.
Yeah, I had a fella
done most of I've written several of them. Some people have done, some that haven't done, and some of them similar to Hank's song. It's not similar to this, but I've had some that was similar to Hank Williams. It's up tempo, and would you like to hear one of them?
Why, of course. Sure.
This is
Let's do it.
I love you, indeed I do. I said it's another love song.
Well, okay. Well, I think we have a lot of couples out in our audience, and a lot of.
So many years were lonely and blue, but that was before, dear, I met you. All of this came to an end the day you became my friend, 'cause I love you, indeed I do. I love you, yes I love you, and all because that you're so true. I'll be yours till the end of time. There's no doubt in my mind that I love you, indeed I do. Now that I have no heartaches to go through, since that I found someone like you, and I'll do the best I can. I know you understand, I love you, indeed I do. I love you, yes I love you, and all because that you're so true. I'll be yours till the end of time. There's no doubt in my mind, 'cause I love you, indeed I do. I love you, yes I love you, and all because that you're so true. I'll be yours till the end of time. There's no doubt in my mind that I love you, indeed I do.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little bit.
That's got a good sound to it and a good roll to it, yeah.
You know, people like that melody.
Yeah.
Most of the melodies songs that I make, people likes the musical, since I have, what is it, strong words.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good melody.
yeah, good melody and strong words.
Yeah.
And I'm not like Hank Williams. I don't, after 30 minutes, if I can't come up with a song, throw them away.
Yeah. Well, I understand about it. How many have you written?
Oh, golly, several, probably 6 or 8.
No, that's not bad.
And,
That's not bad.
yeah, I had a group that done one of my songs. It was written a number of years ago. I never did. Well, I had people doing it, but I never did try to get into a publisher or anybody that was well known. And but they had a lot of requests to do this song. At it was where they had, there was a dance hall where they done put a show on, and I just gave them the sheet music, and they had somebody play it off, and it was one of those type of a songs. It was, I guess, kind of a sad song in one way, but some people says that they like what it does, and that was one. And I Love You Indeed I Do is My Broken Heart. I wrote it earlier about someone. It was a true story, and that people said, well, it sounded like it was from a true story. That and I did write it accordingly to a person, and lots of times I may get. I like to have something to go by, and Well, there was a lady, that one that I wrote up, I found true love. She says, the next time you write a song, son, I want you to write about me. I said, how's that? Says, I found true love.
Yeah, okay.
And she said, after a while, I found true love, and I like you. And one day I was sitting down, and I was kind of scribbling, and I came up with that one. I found true love, and it kind of come out in the more of the modern type.
Sound to it.
It just after I was writing words out. In fact, I think I got the original way I started it, and I kind of changed here and changed there, and I'm not sure if I went more than half an hour or not. I thought, well, I recorded it, and I said, that don't sound bad, and I changed it the melody a little bit here and there, and I changed the words a little bit here and there, and that was the way that one happened to come out. But somebody gave me something to go on.
I see. In other words, you had a little event, a keynote, and turn you loose. And,
yeah, too old
and come
to
up
cut
with
the
a tool.
mustard anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
You remember that song?
Yeah, yeah. I think that was Jimmy Dickens, wasn't it?
I heard Red Foley doing it. It was the one that I heard the most. Now somebody else, he may have done that.
Yeah.
I'm too old to cut the mustard anymore.
Well, there's a group up here at Maidu. I believe they've taken that name, the Mustard Cutters.
But Red Foley done a big variety of songs, and Tennessee Border.
Mm-hmm.
Hank Williams also done that song. I bought about 2 years ago on an album, and I'd read somewhere that he was coming out with some new releases that had never been released.
Might be.
And Cool Water was one of them.
Well, that was Sons of the Pioneers, wasn't it, originally?
Yeah.
That was it.
But they had never come out, and Tennessee Border, and I think at the time Red Foley's had that out, and he didn't want to interfere with Red Foley's song, you know.
Yeah.
He didn't want to try to say, well, I think I can do it better than him.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe, I'm just thinking maybe he might have thought that, and that was a real good song, though, and it was a big hit.
Exceptionally good, yeah.
And Hank Williams done it. I got it. He done it real good also. It had a different sound.
Well, yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we each have our own special sound. What are you going to do for us now?
Let's see, which you'd like to hear that.
How about Jambalaya?
Yeah, I can do that.
How about Jambalaya? That's one of Hank's songs.
Yeah, that was one Joe Stafford recorded before Hank got hold of it.
How many did it sell?
2 million.
Oh,
if
Lord.
I remember right.
Yeah, okay. Jambalaya.
Goodbye, Joe, me gotta go, me oh my oh. Me gotta go to the road down the bow. My Avon, the sweetest one, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we'll outpick one on the bow. And a jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a Philly gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm a-gonna see Mama Cheddar meal. A guitar filled from jar and be gay. Son of a gun, we'll outbid fun on the bayou. Well, a dippy-dope might know the place is buzzing. Ken's folks comes to see Yvonne by the dozen. And a step in style and a go hog wild, me oh my. Son of a gun, we'll outbid fun on the bayou. And a jambalaya and a crawfish pie, Philly gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm a-gonna see Mama Cheddar meal. The guitar filled from jar and beat-o. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Gonna settle down far from town and I'll get me Pigo, know what that is, and I'll catch all the fish that's in the bayou. And I'll swap Yvonne for the things that she needs. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. And a jambalaya and a crawfish pie, pretty gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see Mama Genevieve. The guitar, jar, and beat-o. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. And jambalaya, crawfish pie, and a belly gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see Mama Genevieve. Poppy gone for the things that she needs, oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou.
Okay. Yeah, that brings back many a memory.
Those words, I don't, somebody was French, said a lot of those words was French words, and I thought Hank just thought them up to make somebody laugh or something.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a Canadian French, I believe, said that some of those words was French. He knew some French, and something about Paul the Piro meant something.
That's a boat.
Huh?
Pirou's a boat, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought, I didn't know there was a dish named jambalaya. It never.
Yeah, never occurred to you.
It's just something he thought up.
Yeah.
And so the disc jockeys thought, well, and said they didn't know where all those words come from.
Yeah.
All they knew is it was a good seller, and they still do it today.
Yeah.
And they said when Hank went on, says his music will go on forever. He may be gone, but said his music will go on forever. And they've had so many that it was on tape, and some of them have been published, like 1970. He 53 when he went out, and I looked at some of the songs that Hank done way back, and they just, they fit in, and then they sell them. I go to the record store, I says, where's the rest of the Hank Williams singing? And he says, well, ain't they over there? He says, we got a lot of them in. They already sold.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, they sell that good? I said, they sure do. He said, older people? No, it says younger people. Said that they hear the songs and they like those songs. I think it don't make any difference sometimes.
You think we are in a period now where there's going to be a resurgence and delving back into our earlier history of country western music and have it brought forward again?
Yeah, I believe it is, because there's so much soul in them. I mean, there's so much, like Merle Haggard come out with such a many.
Yeah, okay, right, yeah.
Buck Cohen's and all of these people, but it was all soul songs from way down. And I think, of course, they kind of cut back, and Buck Owens just makes a TV appearance 2 or 3 times a year, and that's about all he does. And he says he don't want to go out. He was in it, a number of years.
Yeah, true.
And he said, well, to get records up to the top, you have to
go down the circuit and make all the shows, and talk shows and the whole bit. Yeah.
I guess he didn't want. I don't know, but I was reading something about something like that. It made it appear to me that, well, I've got other things to do, and I believe he rides horses, and Merle Haggard has come out with some of the best sounds. Also, he had a lot of Hank Williams in him. He wasn't Hank Williams, but he had a lot of Hank Williams in him.
Yeah. What are you going to play for us now, George?
You want to hear another one?
Oh, sure. I'd have you, if I had the chance, I'd have you here for 7 or 8 hours playing. I mean, this is the music I grew up with.
Well, this is one that's still going, and I think it was on the hit when he died. Your Cheating Heart.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That people of all ages still record this. And I looked on an album and it said, what was it? It said, Pop on the Countryside.
Okay, all right.
A lot of his songs was on that.
Crossover, yeah, kind of crossover music, yeah.
Pop singers were singing it, but it says,
yeah.
Pop on the Countryside. It's
okay.
Your cheating heart someday will leave. You'll cry and try to sleep, but sleep on come. No, not true. You're cheating heart. Tell 'em when tears come down like falling rain, you'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor the way I do. You're cheated, will tell on you. Your cheated heart will find someday and crave the love you threw away. And the time will come when you'll be blue. Your cheated heart will tell on you. When tears come down like falling rain, you'll toss around, call my name. I'll walk the floor the way I do. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Your cheating heart will tell on you.
Yeah.
Ain't that?
That brings back, memories.
That's more years than we like to remember.
Yeah, well.
I believe that was.
But that's a classic.
That will be here 100 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there'll be others that pick this up, yeah.
But some of his songs, and his son does a lot of his songs. And then his son, Hank Williams Jr. is a good writer.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a book that's got part of his songs in it and got part of his dad's in it. And what was it? What was it? It's a family tradition.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought that one. And I got one, and I can't remember the name. I got it on the album at home, and it was talking about kind of a novelty, talk about politicians and saying, how does it go? The roads are not filled, and then says, well, what is the taxes going to? And it's can't remember the name of it, and but I have it on. Oh yeah, I think it is. But I Believe in Love. I believe it's the name of it, and it talks all about the various things. And he says the doctor's against me smoking, and and it's quite a novelty song. I've never done it out in public, but one of these times I'm going to do it.
Okay. Have you got another one for us? One of yours?
No, you want one of mine?
Sure.
What, you want a gospel song or do you want a country song?
Well, one of each. Right. 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, let me see.
This is what you had to say. You said you cared no more for me. You shattered our love to a memory. My broken heart is a broken dude, and I'm so lonely without you. I've been so lonely since you went away. Been broken hearted night and day. I remember when I'd visit your place. There I'd see your smiling face. All the days surely gone. I've been left here all alone. I hope someday you'll return to me, but I guess these things can never be. I guess I live a lonely life, for you can never become my wife. My broken heart is a broken dude, and I'm so lonely without you. I've been so lonely since you went away. Been broken hearted both night and day.
Okay, when did you write that?
Oh, a long time ago. That's one a group done for us.
I see.
Here's a gospel song I done.
All right.
I've started for Jesus on this holy way. I mean to be faithful and not go astray, for he's my Savior and he's my friend. I asked his forgiveness, he forgave all my sins. He's full of mercy and joy divine, so full of goodness, chose me as mine. He gave me joy the world could not give. To the love he gave, I'm sure they live.
Okay. Thank you, George.
All right. Thank you very much.
That was a very, very... Now, they tell me that they call you Cowboy George on occasion.
Oh, yeah.
You answered all kinds of names, I
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah. Okay, right. Thank you.
All right.
I think that'll wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find George all over the countryside. Are we done? Ladies and gentlemen, George Bankston and his guitar. For this last hour of entertainment.
Thank you.